Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a layout share, and I've accumulated 18 layouts since the last time I shared, so clearly I need to get on the ball and do this a little more often. I am in the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge, and I'm also during the month going to be doing my regular series, but I'm going to do the Around the World in 30 Days video hop. I'm going to try to post every day. So I will be doing quite a few layouts each week, and I will try to keep on a weekly basis. Because Mind the Scrap rules change and the deadline occurs on Sundays, I'll probably do these videos on Sunday and make them live on Sunday afternoon, my time, which might be evening or early morning, your time. But I need to get better at this, not for the least of which is that it's getting away from me, and I'm not filing, putting layouts into albums. I should get my big suitcase from the UK sometime. It was supposed to be here Friday or Saturday, but I think the shipping people lied to Adam, and it hasn't arrived yet. But any day now I expect to get it, and it will have a couple of really large, beautiful albums that are made by Julie Mary Doyle's husband. And I was lucky enough to see some of the albums. Adam has the entire rainbow collection of colors. And I forget now, I know I got a purple one, but I think I got another one besides that. So anyway, those should be in the suitcase. And as soon as I get them, I can't wait to start filling them. So I'll get rid of some of that. So more than you wanted to know, I'm going to start out this share by sharing a layout that I did not do, but it is the layout made by my good friend Johnny, and we made it together. He came over to Adam's house. I had met him in person. I have, quote unquote, known him for a while. He is the son of Lisa Sikorsky of Sikorsky Sketches and Scrap-A-Sketch fame. And he's absolutely the most adorable human on the planet. And I have said many times, and I know this is going to really disappoint many of you out there, he is my cutest subscriber. He had this fish. You've probably heard me tell the story, but I can't tell enough. He had this fish that he wanted a picture taken, and he wanted to scrapbook that fish. So when he came to the Dottie About Flair crop, I took these two photos, and Adam printed them. And so he and his mom brought over some under the sea kinds of supplies, and we had some bramble fox fish and some custom made flair that Adam ran back in the back room and made while we were actually in the act of scrapping. And so it was just a really fun afternoon. And I made a page about the fun that afternoon, and it was I guess this was a challenge accepted, and it's a Scrap Squad lift. I knew it was a Scrap Squad lift, but I didn't know if it was another challenge, and it was challenge accepted. So I did some, and it was also punched out Thursday, so I did die cuts. And I used a Bramble Fox stencil that came with the Sea Life collection. And so I'm going to put these two pages side by side in my album, and I just absolutely love both of them. This to me is genius. So hi there, Johnny. And of course I've said this before. I chose this blue background just for you because blue is your favorite color. So I'm going to put those aside, and now we'll go on. This is a page I did for Pink Fresh Friday, and it's a, I used mostly older Pink Fresh collections. This actually was this piece of paper was cut short, so I kind of hid the seam where it changed with embellishments, and it's a photo of my grandson Barrett getting ready to take off on his first out-of-state travel to visit his mom. And his dad was actually sitting there chewing his fingernails the entire time, but he made it there and back, and he's fine. so that was good. So I'm going to put that one over there. This one is a Simple Story Saturday, and I used the watery side of Simple Story Sunkissed. In fact, Sunkissed is all I used. Well, no, that's not true. These stickers are from a different collection, and these florals are from a different collection. So I mixed, even though the colors here were not the pure primaries that are in Sunkissed, the theme kind of went really well. So, and it's a photo, a selfie that Adam took of the two of us on our balcony outside the cabin on the cruise, and it's looking out at the water, and you know, just I love the photo. That's one that Adam printed and sent to me with my first batch of things. I've still got quite a few others. Okay, and this one it's called Her Own Menagerie, and it is a it's using Mind the Scrap kits, but it's Scrap Squad Sunday. That was a Scrap Squad Sunday. This is really bad when I don't even remember my own layouts. This was the layout that I lifted for Scrap Squad Sunday, and my colors are brighter, and I used a whole slew of strange and wonderful things together. I loved the way the original had the the phrase stickers kind of stuck in the middle of the journaling, so I replicated that. I just love this page so much because I love this dog so much, especially when she's sleeping. She is crazy. Don't ever try to eat a meal with her in the room. She is a little beggar. This is a really nice sketch by Lisa Sikorsky, Johnny's mom. She's otherwise known. She once was known on her own for her fabulous scrapping and then for her fabulous sketches. Now she's known as Johnny's mom. So she did this beautiful sketch, and I kind of went crazy using a crazy background because these are crazy pictures. And I did some of the little squares and just kind of scattered them, thinking that might sort of tame the background, and it didn't, but I love it. So, and I decorated each one as its own little thing. And these are photos from the cruise, and that's Vicki Booten, name dropping here. And this one was the, nice, everybody behaving well in class photo. And this is how everybody mostly behaved in the class photo. So we had some fun on that at that photo session. This one, I used a collection that is similar to the one Johnny was using, and this is a page I think Johnny might actually like. I had only scraps of this paper, and then this, well, is that true? Yeah, this is actually the front of the packaging. And this just meant to show you the designs in there. This, I think, is Scrap Backwards. This was my Scrap Backwards kit. And I filtered this photo. I made the page without the photo, and then I filtered the photo to kind of pick up these colors right in here. And so that and I used all kinds of strange things from strange places, but I love it. And I found some kind of nautical flair. And since we are in front of this is the marina that's just in front of the dock, and that is our cruise ship back there at the dock. Okay. This one is, I think, Stash Dive Tuesday. Ooh, I don't have a label on it, but I'm pretty sure it's Stash Dive Tuesday. I need to grab a label. That means I've done 216 layouts instead of 215. So I will kind of put that aside. I have a strange collection of things here from different places, but I love this Happy and Crafty. That's from Simple Stories, Let's Get Crafty, and I think that's from there too. And some of these things that look like stamping are little vellum stickers or washi tape type stickers that Adam sent me as a gift. And there's a pink flare there, a very different kind of abstract sort of flare. I think that's the set it's come from. Some drink and some drink icons that were from a sticker set that Adam sent, and some food icons from a sticker book that Stephanie Wright sent me. And I think you've heard the story that she sent it to me months ago, and it's been sitting with my quote-unquote next flare order at DAF headquarters at Adams. And each time there was some other thing that he was going to send with it, and a customer's order that he wanted me to send out, and all this thing. He's holding all the stuff he's sending to me, and then next thing you know, I was on my way there for the trip and for the cruise, and so he said, I'll just hold it and just give it to her. And of course he didn't give it to me because I took no luggage back. I can't lift anything, and I was traveling alone, so I left everything there to be mailed back. And so it was forever. He had problems with that. Okay, so then this is, I think, my first page I did for the summer challenge. I guess maybe not. Maybe not. Or maybe. Yes, it is, because it has yellow cardstock. These are photos. These two are photos I took at the beach at Clevedon when I visited Emma Clark in Bristol. And Emma and her fiance John took me around to several places, and this is where we ended up at lunchtime. And this is actually a photo I took of a drawing, a piece of art that was in their gift shop. And I filtered them all with the same filter called Popcorn in the Prisma app that actually adds a lot of yellow, since I knew I'd be using yellow cardstock, since that was one of the rules. And so I put them together, and I think this is a sheet from a scrap from, and this is too, from Fernwood, maybe, Vicky Booten, and it's also a Scrap Squad lift. There's it's some kind of a lift. It is Oh no, it's Lisa's sketch for the design team, and I don't have the sketch here. She did, this is a crazy story. She did a sketch for the design team to all use at the design team hop on the 25th of the month. And goofy me, I printed that sketch plus another sketch that was her latest sketch that I was planning to do. Put them on my table. When I was making the design team video, I pulled the wrong one. So I decided to do this one afterwards. So it's a late design team project. And these are abstract flair that I have on here. And I don't think they're in the shop anymore, but if you like them and you pester at them, I think he would probably add them. This is off the board where I use this mood board, and the yellow striped paper and the palm trees are kind of where I took that. It's also Rebecca Meadows' birthday hop or birthday lift, scrap lift over at Scrap Squad. And we were on the beach thing, and so there's my yellow cardstock and my 15 little hearts and all kinds of fun stuff. I love this page. This is one of my favorite pages ever. I love the photo, and I have a I have two Macs. One of them is a MacBook with all the latest software. One of them is my very old desktop Mac that has older versions of things. And the reason I keep it around is because the older version of the software on it interacts with my scanner, which is a 2006 model scanner. And Epson hasn't updated it to work with the newer operating systems on Mac. So I keep it for that, but as an extra bonus for keeping that is I have the old version of Pages, which is the word processor. And this is one of the photo printing options. You know, you can do them in, you know, with a border or a frame or so on and so forth, where you can also do it where it fades into the edges. And I love that. And I also love that the blue in the photo is different from any blue on the page. And so it kind of stands out, but it's adjacent to the teal colors, so it doesn't look like it doesn't belong. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So one of my favorite pages, this one may go in a frame. So this one, another crazy one, and there are two of them I'll show you on here. I wanted to replicate this, where you see that the triangles are going off at a diagonal to the edges. I don't know what you would call that. Different position than mine ended up. But when I cut, I know that looks like 6 by 6 cut in half. So I made mine 6 by 6. And when I did that, they came out this big, and I couldn't place them like that because you couldn't fit the whole thing on the page. So I made it like this and said, what the heck, I'm just going to call it a day. I will someday do this sketch properly because I love it, and part of what I love about it is the orientation of the triangles. But Lisa Sikorsky knows that triangles and I do not have a very good relationship now or ever. And that's odd for a math major, I suppose. But I hate triangles, and I hate seeing them come up as a requirement in challenges, and I hate there are some, these are not so bad, and I love this and would be willing to do more triangles for this. But there are some triangle layouts that make my brain hurt. And at my age, I can't afford to upset my brain any more often than it is upset just on a daily routine basis. I love these shell-shaped sequins and have had trouble using them, but they worked out great on this page. And this is a page that was inspired by, but is not a lift of this one. I would not dare to call my page a lift of this. I kind of got an idea from it. And I forget who did this page. Maybe I wrote it on the back. Let's see. I did not. It's punched out Thursday, and I did die cuts of seashells and mermaid, and there are punched squirrels, and I punched all these square. No, I didn't. Paige Evans punched those squares. What did I punch? Oh, I punched this border down here, and there's another little punched squirrel that was sent to me by Suzanne Madison. It's a busy, crazy, kind of goofy page, but I think that when you want to get goofy, have a photo with a child in it doing something goofy, and the page gets explained. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, this is one of the ones that I did not have a video for. I just printed a very large copy of a photo that I absolutely adore of my husband, aka Crapaw, holding Barrett's hand, walking with him from the water up to the beach. And I couldn't even tell you where this is. I'm assuming it's Ormond Beach in Florida, where Ava and Allie's grandpa, Papierre, has a cabin. And when the kids were young, we visited there a few times. I used a sheet of Cocoa Vanilla Sunkissed and some Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Coastal, and even a, not Webster's Pages, but Kaiser Craft, Sandy Toes. That's where those came from. And this label, or this title, came from, what do I want to say, 49 and Market, Spectrum Sherbet. And the flowers came from Vicki Bouton's Fernwood. Just miscellaneous things. I don't know where I got this wood star. I think it came off a freebie table at a retreat I attended. And then there's my streak of yellow cardstock. And this is one of my favorite layouts I've ever made. I say that every time I scrap lift Julie Taylor. I never, ever even come halfway close to the awesomeness of her pages. She just has an eye and an artistic sense for arranging things and picking things to arrange that just blows me away. And so this just fascinated me. It was my pick for the hop this month at Mixed Media Mayhem. And I made this. It was it's a distress oxide background with a virtual rainbow of colors. And then I picked elements from Spectrum Sherbet. I guess I need to put some glue on this. I had glue on it, but it didn't make enough contact, apparently. And okay, I'll press it down now. And I have Flare. There are 15 punched yellow cardstock stars, some Bramble Fox, Sea Life goodies, wooden, I have no idea where the compass rose and the anchor came from, but this palm frond is from the Sugar Rush or Sweet Rush collection. And the photo is what we consider to be our private beach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And it's just an amazing place and we were usually the only people there. And the sand was white like sugar. And then when you go out into the water, you have to walk really, really far before you get to very deep water. And the water is so clear, you can actually judge the quality of your pedicure while you're standing in the water. Even the deep water, you can look straight down and see your toes. It's just amazing. So I love this page too. Anytime I come even close to one of Julie's pages, I love it. Now, this one was one that I put together in about 5 minutes. I had this collage of photos of John, and I don't think I ever scrapped it. I think I pulled the collage together for something online, something that I created digitally. But I printed it, and it's been printed and kind of in a file of things I need to scrap kind of stuff for I don't know how long, months, maybe a year. And I decided why not scrap it. So I had a couple of partial sheets from the, it's Bella Boulevard, or not Bella Boulevard, it's Cartabella's Beach Party collection. So that's what the papers are. And I had this page, so I cut a strip from that. That's the end. And that collection was gifted to me as part of my design, guest design gig a few months ago. By Scrapbook Your Joy, and they and so I want to do a shout out to them because I'm still using that collection and I absolutely love it. So that's a Vicky Bouton Fernwood floral. This is from Sweet Rush. This and this are from Spectrum Sherbet. This is from Simple Vintage Coastal. That's an epoxy flare from Dottie About Flare. This is a painting of sunflowers that was done by Ava, I think. Maybe Barrett. And I printed it really small, and I had an epoxy some epoxy supplies that went with, I don't know if any of you have ever had any of the Epiphany punches that make charms to make jewelry with. And when I had very young granddaughters, they loved when I made them jewelry with pictures of themselves and stuff. Well, I did this sunflower art because sunflowers were John's favorite flower. And I titled it Missing You. And did my stuff on it. Put a few little bits around the page. Again, I love this page. It's not my. There's a penguin on here too because he loved penguins. Well, sunflowers and penguins. So those are the icons that represent him. Okay, so this is another one of Lisa's sketches. And I think I have it. No, I guess I don't. It was a 4x4 grid. And silly me, I cut my squares 3 3/4 of an inch. Or 3 1/2, something like that. Thinking, no problem, it'll go across. And I, of course, that was the perfect size if you wanted to do a 3x3 grid. And so that's what I did. I just had bigger squares, and I printed my photos 3 inches by 3 inches, and put a little border around them and left some white so that the background. This one I was afraid the yellows in here wouldn't go with the yellow of that cardstock, but it actually works okay. And there's a penguin for John, and there have to be 2 beach chairs because that was kind of our thing. We collected art, you know, cheesy art, nice art, really expensive art. It didn't matter. Ashtrays, even though neither of us smoked, and all kinds of things that had like usually a beach scene, but sometimes a backyard scene with 2 chairs. And that was kind of a thing when we used to go down to Galveston. We'd rent 2 chairs and an umbrella. So I have 1 chair in this tag and 1 chair here. So I satisfied John's 2 chair motif. He didn't ever, it made kind of like triangles make my brain hurt. It made both of our brains hurt when we saw art that had just a single chair. So I bring chairs together. That's my role in life. And these are bad beach selfies. Again, with the Mind the Scrap challenge, we're doing yellow cardstock and 15 items and beach photos. And those are my 15 items, my little wood starbursts. And then this was a true 5-minute page once I printed the photo. And I mounted it on a strange, this is a fancy pant, not fancy, it's Bo Bunny. And I put the label on upside down. And the other side of it has an elephant and some other stuff. It's not a print that's easy to use, but it's enough different, you know, and see, like right here, the pattern occurs right at the kind of the busy part of the photo there. And then there's another one there, so that I kind of did clusters there. It's called Crapaw's Heaven. And this scene right here, a beach and water and beautiful blue skies, that's his idea of heaven. And I wrote, "We like it hot." The reason I met John is because he liked it hot. He grew up in Ohio and was working in Michigan at the time that he was contacted about getting a job in Houston. And he had always wanted to go either to the South or to California. And I was offering him a job in Texas, and he took it. And then I hired him permanently. So anyway, a couple of Bramble Fox hearts, a custom turtle flare from Dottie About Flare, and a little penguin. Turtle is kind of my thing. I've collected turtles since I was a little kid. In those days, they were live. Now I have mostly ceramic and stone and other forms of turtle, and apparently flare now. So Adam made those up for me a while back. So that one's going to go in a frame, I think. This one was one I had a lot of fun with last night, and it went live today. This was the original. It's by Kylie Kingham for Cocoa Vanilla, and she was using an older collection that I had enough similar elements in the No Limits collection. And so there's my beach photo and my 15 matching sequins, and there's some yellow cardstock underneath there, and there's stars and starfish, even some more Bramble Fox here, and here, and flare all over the place. I just really love how this turned out. And I didn't really have a full sheet of this or this because I cut it wrong. You can kind of see that I need to practice the measure twice, cut once thing. So this is my last one. I did this one this morning right before the deadline for the challenge, and I let the background paper do its do all the hard work. I did cut. I used my craft knife and cut around this leaf so that I could slide my photo under there. And then I created a little bit of a sunset with my yellow torn cardstock, and this is a flare that has a sunset. And because we call him B, I put a B there. And down here I used a rope sticker and added all these other stickers in front, and then put sequins like they were spilling out. I love this page, but to be honest, what I love about it is the paper. It's just lush, and I had no idea how I was going to use it. I knew for sure I was not going to cut it apart. And I think I have another sheet of it, and I'm not sure how I will use it differently, but I actually really love how this turned out. So that's it. I'm going to cut the video off right now. I'll see you next Sunday after just 1 week, and we'll see how things go. In the meantime, check out my regular series for process videos of varying lengths. If it takes me 20 minutes to do a page, it'll be a 20-minute video. If it takes me an hour to do a page, it'll be an hour video. So apologies for that if you don't like long videos, but that's just kind of how we roll around here. Thanks for watching. Bye.